What's up guys, Jonas here. I have some super exciting news. I'm working day and night, as you probably can tell, on finalizing my own plugin, which is out in just a couple of weeks. So this week, Paul is stepping in and doing the video. He's a magician when it comes to melodies and chords and everything else. Super informative, awesome video. I really hope you like it as much as I do. And thank you for watching.
Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how I make my melodies. I'm going to take you through the process of making a melody, and I'm going to show you tips on how to create a better melody instantly yourself. We're going to make this melody.
Tell me you love me now, tell me you care, tell me you hate me, I'll be gone somewhere. Tell me you love me.
And this one as well. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to show you guys is what I call the step tip. I'm just going to show you the bass line we have going on here first. And I always start my piano roll kind of thing with a space before, so I have like the opportunity to think more out of the box and think about melodies that maybe start before that starts over here. That way I feel more creative and have more capabilities. Okay, so this first tip is the step tip, and this tip allows you to create something that sounds very nice, very fast. I'm not involving music theory in this, just to get the simplest tips and try to communicate them as best as possible. So you either have to count to 3 or 4 up from the bass line, like 1, 2, 3. When I play it now, just sounds, you can try again here. 1, 2, 3. That sounds a bit weird, right? So let's try 4. Nice, here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, yeah. Because you can see that it aligns with this note, so it's probably gonna fit. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and honestly, this tip is so helpful. I have used it for years, and it's my #1 go-to when creating melodies, when creating everything, really. Just to prove that this tip is so good, I'm going to show you how this sounds on guitar first. So this tip works in all genres. Let's say you're making an acoustic song. Like this is literally that. So you can easily fit this tip together with an EDM song or whatever. Okay, so this next tip is 10 steps. Let's try to count to 10. Let's try to fill this note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's try to do it here as well, just to fill in some space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, those notes always work. So this next note that also works a lot is to count to 7, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. The 3 or 4, the 7 and the 10 always work super nice together. So this tip is very helpful for beginners. I call it the scale tip. So the first thing you got to do is to find the scale of your song. How I usually do that is to look at all the notes. I gather all the information by looking at all the notes, and then I type it in like this. I can see like this one aligns over here, this one aligns over here, this one aligns over here, this one goes here, this one goes here, right, and so forth. Okay, so now I have gathered all my notes that I have available here. So how I find scales is I look for where there are no rooms between the notes. I can see here there are no rooms, so I'm gonna assume this is my scale. Let's try that one. I know that major scales goes da na 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 da na 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 da da. And if this is too complicated, you can also insert all those notes that you have in your project into an online key finder. I'll link one in the description. It had helped me a lot in the past. So I can see that this is the G major scale, so I'm going to change my view into the G major scale. So I'm going to go to major, oops, and then helpers again into G major. So now all these more light notes, as you see here, those are in the scale of G major equals my song. So now I can just do like this, whatever, and it will fit. I can, you know, whatever. All those white notes here will fit to my song. So if you're a beginner, this is a great tip. And now I'm just gonna try to fill something out. Melodies, it isn't always rules and restrictions. Sometimes you have to go with your intuition and just make a lot of melodies, practice a lot, and just try to listen to where something should be and not. Da, 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 da. Like something here. Da, 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 da. Let's try this note again. It works, right? Something like this. And I hear now that maybe this note can be like this. Like, rhythm has so much to say in a melody. And I also feel like, because I did this, I feel like maybe this and this can be like this, so it gets more flow, right? Da-na-na. Just adding these notes in between is just like a feeling and what you're listening to. For me, I follow the rules and then I try to expand somewhat from those rules. And another note I always go to is, of course, my bass line, like this. You can always just follow your bass line for safe options. Another major tip is repetition. I think this should maybe go over here. Repetition is, in my opinion, the most undervalued tip ever because it's so easy to do and not enough people do it, in my opinion. I think that's just me listening to the song and try to figure out what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling and what I would be able to sing along to myself in a festival or a concert or at home or whatever. This feels more natural to me. Instead of just for me, it feels more natural. So you gotta trust your instincts. Try to listen to what the song wants to, where the song wants to go and where the chords want to go. So as I said previously, I'm just copying this over here so I get an introduction into the melodies, like this. Oops, maybe. Okay, this is just me hearing and trying to figure out what fits and what not. Yeah. So that already is starting to sound very nice to me. Okay, so maybe I'm just gonna fill in this one here. Feel like this should be here. And as I mentioned, repetition is key, so I'm gonna do the same here as well. But by doing this tip, I'm also gonna tell you about pauses. It's really important to let that melody breathe, because or else it will be too much. Like you don't need more here. You don't need more. Like that's enough. Often very professional big melodies have a lot of breaks between them. And I also just want to put emphasis on usually melodies goes like a roller coaster, like this. So a lot of times when you're down here, you probably want to go up, and when you're up, you probably want to go down. Okay, so if you look at this, it kind of goes like. So melodies are very often like roller coasters. They go like up, a bit down, up, and very long down. So a lot of you, when you make a melody, you don't necessarily think that melody could fit to a vocal as well. But I think melodies are just melodies. A good melody is a good melody everywhere. So if you make a good melody, it should fit to a vocal, in my opinion. So I think like a lot of you are actually songwriters, even though you don't know it. Let me show you a quick real life example of just that with this one. This is me singing over like a typical EDM slap house song.
Tell me you love me now. Tell me you care. Tell me you hate me. I'll be gone somewhere. Tell me you love me now. Tell me you care.
This is the melody.
Now tell me you care. Tell me you hate me. I'll be gone somewhere.
So I changed the rhythm like a bit some places, but as you do when you're writing lyrics to the melody. I'm just trying to say that a melody can be a melody everywhere. So take a listen to this as well.
Tell me you love me now. Tell me you care. Tell me you hate me. I'll be gone somewhere.
Or even this.
Tell me you love me now. Tell me you care. Tell me you hate me. I'll be gone somewhere.
And also this guitar is literally what I just played with that easy tip. So there are some things that I don't have the time to dive very deep into, but I will address these questions on my Instagram story right now. And I'm also going to put it as a highlight so you can check them out whenever. So I'm also releasing my first song ever in my own name. And if you want to stay updated, you can check it out on my Instagram very soon. And I'll answer all DMs if you have any questions about this video or any topic in general. I'll try to answer you to the best of my abilities. Okay, so this is a new project. Take a listen. Sounds much more like an EDM festival banger. So I'm just gonna make some quick notes. I'm gonna follow my own steps. Just like 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna also follow the bass line like this. And I'm just gonna layer down some quick notes. Now I'm gonna show you the importance of length. It can have so much to say on your energy and your vibe and everything. And this rules holds for bass lines, for leads, for chords, for absolutely everything. Let's say all are the same length. Like it becomes something completely different. If I do this, much more energy, much more like, yeah, fast-paced energy. And if I do this even, a big tip is to like make almost every note unique in that sense of length, like this. Maybe this shorter or a bit longer maybe. Okay, so this next segment is about rhythm, and I'm going to show you the importance of rhythm. Usually in melody, there are two things. There are melody, of course, the notes, and the rhythm. So I'm going to show you an example of how much the one rely on the other. For example, if we play Star Wars, this is the Star Wars main theme. Okay, so listen to this with rhythm. Very recognizable, right? Okay, so take a listen without the rhythm. And that's the importance of rhythm, really. So now I'm gonna show you the different rhythms I usually use. So you have this first one, like this. But you can also have the shuffled one. You have to change your grid a bit, and then take these a step back. Right? Very often used in electronic music. Just hear the difference, it's so much. Super big difference. And I've actually used this trick here, as you can see. To get more like that. Not the same flow. You can also make this rhythm like this. Just pull the ones that are on beat, kinda. A bit longer, like this. Sounds nice. And by the way, I'm also giving away a free sample pack and MIDI pack with this tutorial, where I'm creating like the most used or basic rhythms of EDM and other genres also. Download that if you want to. Okay, so remember I told you about the 3/4 step, right? Which I have used here. Third and the fourth step sometimes can be very emotional sounding, and I want this to sound a bit harder and harsher. So I'm only gonna try to use the the seventh and the first step. And that way you're kind of skipping out the emotional middle tone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the first one here. You see, much more aggressive. I'm just making this melody quick and just trying to listen to where the notes should go. Let's try to do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to get like this bridge going, just gonna do this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want all my basses and everything to follow this rhythm as well. And the second time around, some changes are always nice. You just gotta listen for yourself, like. Oops, let me just remember I talked about repetition. This is literally the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th note. It's the same thing again, almost. Whenever I'm wondering where to go, I always go to the same notes, really. Maybe like da 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 da. So something I want to emphasize a lot on, which plays a huge role, is chords. I'm just going to copy them in here. If you have any questions about these or how to make chords, just send me a DM. I'll happily answer it, but I don't have the time now to explain it. So just shoot me a DM. Like just a general tip of chords is like in these EDM songs, you want to be very specific with every single chord that you put in, because it's going to clutter up your mix and clutter up everything. So you want to be very, very precise. So that's why there are like so few notes with so much distance from each other. Oh, I have like this in the top. This is like just the harmony of the melody, like. So the second time around, and then you want to change up your chords in the second time very often. I always do that. Shoot me a DM if you're wondering more about this. Okay, so I just made a quick drop out of the melody we had. And now I want to show you a great tip, which is pitch bends. I think Jonas have talked a lot about it, but I want to talk about it myself as well. Okay, so let's just make an pitch automation from the lead, maybe like this. And to get a more like pitchy attack, I like to do it like this as well. Okay, so here I have my pitch bends. Just put them down here and just Control B, nice. Can make melodies with the pitch. Oops. Maybe like this. Okay, let me copy that to all other leads. Just one very quick tip is reverse reverbs like this. Just helps to carry the melody forward. Okay, so my last tip. So if you're ever stuck on your melody, try to make it over something else. Try to make it over a piano loop, even a whole nother genre. Change your rhythms up and just change your environment and try to get new impulses. And the last one, a melody should always sound good over a piano. Like the melody and the piano chords, that should really be enough to like make a whole song. A good song and a good melody works everywhere, in my opinion. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all, and you know where you can reach me on Instagram. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.